Welcome to SDH's coverage of everything going on in USL League One. We'll take you through what happened last week and get you ready for what is going on this week in USL League One. No dilly, no dally zone officially, and it was one match out of the blocks. Lexington SC with a 1-0 win at home at Toyota against Chattanooga Red Wolves to kick off the competition on the weekend, which brings us to our match of the week. The early match on Saturday afternoon East Coast time at One Spokane Stadium, the home opener for Spokane Velocity and the Richmond Kickers. Here's your highlights courtesy of USL League One and YouTube.
Richmond will kick us off today. They will be attacking from left to right in this opening half. And we are in motion in Spokane. Spokane Velocity for the first time ever at One Spokane Stadium. And Richmond Kickers, one of the longest running clubs in the country. Big day, big atmosphere. And who will come away with a big result here this afternoon? Right away, Velocity FC moving the ball, but it's won back by Neil Vignoles, who looks to slice his way ahead. It's Vignoles, and it was almost the perfect start for Richmond. Spokane choosing to pull it back and play for some possession. It's a wonderful switch down the right now. Kamarni Smith with the chance to attack. Serves it into the middle, and it's in! A sparkling start for Spokane. Welcome to the edge. Welcome to One Spokane Stadium. Velocity lead 1-0. The first ever home goal in their first ever home match comes less than 4 minutes in, and it's Kamarni Smith. And did he mean this? Probably not, but who cares? Trying to cross, perhaps. It turns into a perfect shot. And the back heel, and Medinaire is continuing on the overlap. Scuffed away from him and chested down by Adrian Billhart, who looks to spring somebody forward. And Vignoles continues his run. This is Vignoles looking good. Vignoles, will he shoot? Neil Vignoles, what a save! Carlos Morancio cut down the angle. The home fans rumbling their feet on these new stands. And Hill going back post. And there's goal number 2. And the sensational start at home continues for Spokane Velocity. They could not have dreamed of beginning better in their new ground for their new club. 2-0. It was the service from Hill, back post. Wide open from the elbow of that 6-yard box. Gordon. It's a teasing delivery from Vignoles. Here comes that long throw that Richmond used a lot last year. Flick down into the area, and they have one back. And that's exactly what Richmond needed. And it's the new acquisition, Adrian Billhart, who makes his presence known right away in Game 1 of 2024 for Richmond. 20 minutes gone. What a game in this first ever game at One Spokane Stadium. It's 2-1. It's not technically an attacking set piece, but again, it's something else that Richmond were really good at last year, and they do it again early this season. The long throw bounces around, not dealt with by Spokane, and down this left side they come, looking for the free kick, and the referee not interested. We play on. Now we've played a full 30. Hear the appreciation and the response from this capacity crowd of over 5,000. Every little play from the home side being applauded. And here they go now with another mazy run. Played down the right. It's going to stick and hang up and stay in play. Then the cross arriving. What a chance. Well, Luis Hill, usually the provider, doesn't score much. Likely head to the locker room. Yannick Rothfuss, there's the halftime whistle. What an opening half in the opening match at One Spokane Stadium, the first ever home game for Spokane Velocity. It began with a bang. Launched into the 6-yard box, headed on and just wide, and I think it clipped the foot of the post. Marcelo Lage almost found the third goal for Spokane. Has not looked out of place today as a 17-year-old. That's why he's in there, of course. You're good enough, you're old enough. That's what Darren Zawatsky said this week. Now the counter might be on for Spokane. Just 2 in the attack. Dalling is one of them. Into the box he goes, and a fairly tame shot in the end. Might have come off the defender's foot. It is taken by Hara. They can overlap there. Delivery deflects through. Juggled up in the air, just wouldn't sit down yet. O'Dwyer has it back. Shouts for offside. Fitch plays it now. The linesman's flag stays down. Fitch looks to deliver. And again, a player in white there to flick it away with the head. They've done that time and time today. Late attacking throw for Richmond, and they'll ready that long one with Chris Cole. Cole with the run-up. He launches. Comes to the edge of the box. Chance to strike. It deflects off the bar. Richmond that close to a late equalizer. They still have it, though, with Vignoles. Clipped along. Out comes the goalkeeper, Morancio. He's got it. Spokane can breathe. That was Maxi Schenfeld. Here comes the in-swinger. Driven in low. Headed out. Edge of the box. Suko miscontrolled. There's the final whistle. It is history. It's up the falls in Spokane. They take down Richmond in their home debut for their first ever victory.
So Spokane gets the win. Big 3 points for them at home in the home opener at One Spokane. Elsewhere, One Knox went on the road to Charlotte, knocked off Charlotte Independence 2-1 at American Legion. At Tormenta Stadium, shared points with Tormenta and Forward Madison in a 1-1 draw. And at Fresno State, Central Valley loses to the Murder Owls of Union Omaha by the final of 2-1. And that gets us ready for this particular weekend. Your standings after either 1 or 2 matches. 2 matches in the books. Lex SC has 4 points. 1 win on the board each for Greenville, One Knox, Union Omaha, Central Valley, and Spokane. Central Valley and Spokane have played 1 more match. Below the playoff bar at 1 point, Forward Madison, Northern Colorado, and Tormenta. 1 match in the books for Charlotte, Richmond, and Red Wolves. No points to show on the board. For USL League One, when it comes to the news, the team of the week here on Week 2, presented by our friends at Konami eFootball. Player of the week, Angelo Kelly for One Knox, and wearing the Sunsphere kit, wearing number 8. 1 goal, 1 assist, 1 win. Angelo Kelly, player of the week in USL League One. Also on the board, coach of the week is Lee Weidman for Spokane Velocity for understandable reasons. In net, Ford Parker for Tormenta, Clay Dimmick for Charlotte, Ahmed Longmire for Velocity, Blake Malone for Union Omaha, Romain Metenaire for Velocity, your back 4. Midfield, Adrian Billhart, understandable for the goal that he scored for Richmond. Devin Boyce, Forward Madison, Siobhan John Brown for Central Valley, Yannick Yankum for Lex SC, and up top, Angelo Kelly and Frank Ross, both for One Knox. Your bench, Amal Knight for Lex SC, Marco Milanese for the Murder Owls, Jack Denton for Spokane, Luis Heel for Spokane, Aaron Gomez for Omaha, Callum Johnson for One Knox, and Steven Dos Santos for Union Omaha. Other news, notes, nuggets, things left unsaid. It is Goal of the Week and Save of the Week nominees, once again for week number 2. Traditionally, for Goal of the Week, that competition ends Thursday at noon Eastern Time. Folks this week had the chance to vote for Yankum, Metenaire, Billhart, or Frank Ross. Go to USL League One, USLLeagueOne.com, click in the news section, and you can vote on the Fans' Choice for Goal of the Week every single week before Thursday at noon Eastern. Save of the Week you have until Friday at noon Eastern. Familiar folks between the sticks here. It is presented by our friends at Terminix, and you get to vote between or among Amal Knight from Lexington, Carlos Morancio from Spokane, Ford Parker from Tormenta, Rashid Nuhu. No surprise that Nuhu would be a part of the Final Four grouping. So it is Knight, Morancio, Parker, Nuhu, USLLeagueOne.com. You have until noon Eastern on Friday to vote, presented by our friends at Terminix. Also, Spokane, remember, sellout crowd of over 5,000 folks. Fantastic stuff to make sure that folks got in the door and could see what's going on there with Spokane Velocity. International call-ups for USL League One franchises. And there were a couple of call-ups, and it's very, very cool once again to see that occur for clubs in USL League One. Jackson Curry called up to the Lebanese national team. Callum Stretch called up for Puerto Rico, both from South Georgia Tormenta. Yannick Yankum for the Maltese national team from Lex SC. Nshuti Innocent from One Knox for Rwanda. Hassan Gabo for Greenville Triumph for Somalia. And also it was Real Gil for Hailstorm for Trinidad and Tobago, along with teammate Noah Powder. And Joshua Ramos called up for the U.S. Virgin Islands from South Georgia Tormenta. Busy week in USL League One. And it's going to be really interesting to see how things lay out here for the schedule in match week number 3. Some teams playing their third, some teams playing their second. And the rundown of who's playing whom. Saturday, 6 o'clock at City Stadium for the Richmond Kickers. They host South Georgia Tormenta. And some old friends there with Adrian Billhart and Pablo Hara dressing up now in Richmond Red. 6:30 at Regal Soccer Stadium, One Knox hosting Lex SC. 7 o'clock on the campus of Furman University, Paladin Stadium. It is Forward Madison at Greenville. And 9 o'clock Eastern at 1 Spokane. Hailstorm and Spokane Velocity. Looking forward to that one coming up in short order as well. Next Thursday, the 28th, Charlotte is hosting Spokane. Spokane comes east for the first time in their tenure in USL League One. With that schedule being placed out, you know what the standings are as we head here into match week number 3. Request from us here at SDH. If you are in market and can catch the matches, or in Spokane's case, get a ticket, please do. Show support for the local teams in USL League One as the league continues to grow in some great soccer markets. If you are in market and cannot be there in person, why don't you follow along on the local provider and let them know that you were doing just that. If you're out of market and can't follow along on local providers, can't get tickets to get in the door, follow along on the local providers on the World Wide Web, and also follow along as well on all of the video providers that will show the action in USL League One all season long. That is the rundown of everything going on, getting you ready for Match Week 3 in USL League One. For everybody here at SDH, I'm just John. Thanks for hanging out with us. Enjoy your time in USL League One for Match Week number 3. Played safe, everybody. We'll see you next time.